welcome back to the Sisters channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well. On our last preview of the season, of the 21-22 season. What a big game this is, guys. We're used to these now, aren't we? I'm sure the lads won't let us down, but we'll have a talk. We'll have a talk about it. Manchester City, of course, against Aston Villa on the 22nd of May 2022, my ex's birthday. Hope that's not an omen, good or bad. I don't know. 4 p.m. kickoff. And of course, we're going to have a look at how Aston Villa have been doing. Of course, we're trying to look at City's mindset, and how we'll be doing. And obviously, we've had some interesting psychological stuff, I think, this week, with players sort of seen training who are not expected to be back. I think that just to keep Villa on the toes. I'm not too sure. We'll chat about that in a minute. Anyway, let's please, if you do like what I do, if you're not already subscribed, please do so. Tell your friends, more than many. I'm trying to get 2,000 subscribers by the start of next season. I've only got a bit less than 100 to go, so please pass the word. It'd be great if you can do that for me. And press that like button as well. Make an old City fan very happy if you can do that. And there'll be, as you know, plenty of these vlogs over the summer. I never stop. I think other people might do. I don't. You always get something off the Citizen channel. Right, referee, yes. Well, this was probably, it could have been worse. It could have been Jonathan Moss, I suppose, which is probably worse. But we've got well-known Liverpool fan Michael Oliver as a referee, allegedly. His assistants is Lionel Stewart, Bert, Simon Bennett. Fourth official, David Coote. On VAR, we've got Darren England. Is making his brew is Adrian Holmes. I always think that's Eamon Holmes, but it's probably about his level, isn't it, making a brew? Previous meetings, last time at our gaff, of course, was a 2-0 win. 2 late goals, 79, maybe leave it this late tomorrow. Well, if we score and we win, I don't mind, but we will be starting to panic. 79 for 90-minute goals last time we played them on the January the 20th, 2021, last time at the Etihad, from Bernardo and Gundogan. Team that day: Edison, Walker, Diaz, Stones, Cancelo, Rodri, Gundogan, KDB, Bernardo, Foden and Sterling. Yeah, interesting. Won't be the same one, I don't think, this time. Overall record at home against Villa in the league, we played them 79 times. We won 48, got a very good home record against Villa, so that bodes well. We do the quirky stats after, see what they throw up as well. 148, drawn 15 and lost 16. 166 goals we scored and we let in 91. Please check out my little History Boys feature. It goes back to 1979. The programme's up there on the wall. Tony Buck versus Ron Saunders. And the last game of the season in 1979. Please check that out. I like doing those History Boys features. And, of course, the Odds Show as well. That's out there. I did that first this week because the FA were a bit slow on getting in some information out, like the referees. So I had to throw the Odds Show out because, obviously, time is short, as you know. So I threw that out first. So that's out there. Please have a check of that, the Odds Show. Please, I don't condone gambling. When the fun stops, stop. But the odds on this, the odds on the league now, City are 1-7 on as we get onto the verge of winning it, hopefully. Liverpool are 5-1. So City have actually moved out a little bit. I think we were 1-9 last week. So, the bookies not overly impressed with the 2-2 draw at West Ham. Could have been better. So that's how it is at the moment. So you want to put £7 on to win 8. Or you want to put a quid up, 50p on Liverpool. If you're a Liverpool fan, you'll get £3 back. Well, there you go. If it all turns sour for us, that is. The match itself, City versus Villa. City are 1-6 on to win it, which is probably about right. About this season. A draw is 7-1. And Villa win, if you're a Villa fan out there, 16-1, 18-1 with Betfred. So fill your boots if you're a Villa fan. If you want to put 50p on and lose 50p, you do that. That'd be great. Please check out my little odds feature. Right, how's this going to pan out? Well, Aston Villa, this is the competition. I think of all the games we've played at the end of important games, you think of the QPRs, you think of the West Hams, stuff like this. I think Villa are probably one of the best teams we've had to, or we were probably one of the worst mid-table teams we'd have to play because they're not bad. They have a goal. We'll talk about Gerrard in a minute, but recent form isn't that bad. They obviously played last night as I'm doing this. I'm recording this on Friday. They played Thursday night against Burnley. And Gerrard did appear to rest 3 or 4 key players that he normally plays in his big games, which included Coutinho, who did come on, but obviously he was rested from the starting 11, which didn't surprise me. I didn't think he'd go his strongest 11 against Burnley. I do expect him to go his strongest 11 against us, of course. And they came back to draw. They played very well, actually. they're good pass completion as well, Villa. They're doing very well, 90%. I mean, City always have 89, 90, 91%. Villa have a very, very similar one as well. So they do like to play, or at least they try and play football, which is good for them, maybe bad for us. And it was Burnley's keeper, I think it's Pope, isn't it, who to thank for the draw last night. Been a bit inconsistent this season, though, as you'd expect. They sit 14th. They've won 13, drawn 6, and lost 18. And they're actually slightly better away from home. But obviously, the last away win was again against Burnley. Just 12 days ago, they played Burnley, won 3-1 at Turf Moor. So, so they are slightly better. They don't really change that much away from home from at home. Gerrard sort of plays a similar sort of style with respect to Gerrard. I mean, you look at the key player stats, obviously up top they've got Ollie Watkins, who leads the line. He's had a good season. He didn't score last night against Burnley, but he's into double figures for the season, and he's certainly competent when carrying the ball. I mean, he wins 50% of his dribbles, over 50% of his dribbles, so he's quite capable of beating players, which if we've got a bit of a hodgepodge of a defence again is a bit of a worry, but Ollie Watkins is doing really well. You've got John McGinn and Philip Coutinho, of course, are the standout midfielders for Villa. McGinn has played. He's got a passing accuracy of 80%, which is fine, and a 65% dribbling percentage rate. So that's pretty good as well from McGinn to create things in midfield. And Coutinho, he's got a passing accuracy of 83%, and he's played with an average of 1.4 key passes per game. So let's hope he doesn't do any key passes in this one. Versus the other thing with Coutinho as well, versus City himself, he's ended up on the winning team in 3 of his 7 meetings in City, drawing 1 and losing 3. But his individual stats are a bit of a worry. A bit more impressive. He's scored 5 goals and provided 1 assist in his 7 appearances against City. So let's hope we can keep him quiet. In the defence, Villa rely on Matty Cash and Tyrone Mings as the main guys. Cash has played with an average of 2.4 tackles per game. Mings is having a good clearance average of 4 per match. Yeah, he keeps involved. Let's hope he's very involved in this one, but he's not clearing them this time. And he's got a 92% dribbling success, Mings. So it's, you sort of don't think of that of Mings, do you? But that's not bad at all. Injury-wise, they've got a couple. They've got Ezri Konsa, who's definitely ruled out for the weekend. With the centre-back sideline with a severe knee injury. Courtney House and Leon Bailey are also doubtful, but there's a possibility they could turn up, but they are doubtful at the moment. And Gerrard, of course, himself enjoyed a bit of an initial upturn back in November, obviously with this new manager bounce, as you'd expect when he joins. But he's sort of since levelled out then, and it's a little bit inconsistencies. But I think there's no doubt, as I said, he did seem to rest 3 or 4 players. He's going to play his best 11 in this game. And Villa want to finish as high as possible for their own pride. And obviously it's money, isn't it? And there's also a rumour that if City do win the league, obviously there's an extra payment for Grealish. I'm not too sure as to the authenticity or the value of that, but there is that's being mentioned as well. They're not a great team, Villa, but by no means are they a bad team. They're certainly above average for me. They're not afraid to have a go. As I said, Steven Gerrard does that. Let's face it, it could still be, even though there's rumours, as I said, Stones and Walker are supposedly back in training. I still, until that team's announced and they're in it, or 1 or 2 of them are in it, I'm sorry. I think this will be a patched up City defence again. So obviously that's a big problem for us if Villa go for it. As I said, there's no way Villa are going to be overly defensive in this. They are going to try. And they almost got something against Liverpool. It was perhaps a lot of that was put down to Jonathan Moss, the referee, who had a very poor game against Liverpool. Give Liverpool lots of benefits. So, we can't underestimate Aston Villa. Gerrard himself, can he inspire them from his point of view? From an ex, obviously, we know his allegiances, of course we do. Can he inspire the players to greater things because of that? Possibly not. But will they roll over? Absolutely not. They won't do that. But will they go above and beyond? This is it. It's an end-of-season game at the end of the day. And even professional footballers, even though they are professional, there is a slight difference in playing in a game like this and it being a big key game as it will be for the City players. So I think they'll be relaxed. I think they'll be, and that could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. A little bit of nerves is always helps players. I think the adrenaline gets the whole thing pumping. So they could be relaxed and cause problems. But yeah, I don't think it makes a lot of difference. And I'm sure Gerrard will be up for this. Gerrard himself has quite rightly distanced himself from thinking anything from beyond. You know, he's necessarily he's not matter about Liverpool. It's Aston Villa, and that's all that matters to him. But I'm sure he will allow himself a smile if he can inspire his players to do something against, even a draw if Liverpool win, of course. And he will allow himself a smile, and I'm sure a couple of drinks, and the whole city, well, the red half of Liverpool will be absolutely joyous, won't they, if he does the worst and pulls it out of the bag. Of course, and I've stated recently, and I keep stating not just on this, but on Charlie's pod and stuff, that the footballing gods, I think, have been a little bit against us the last 3 or 4 weeks. And of course, add to this now, we've got the Gerrard influence, add to this the Coutinho thing, and you think it's all set, isn't it? All set for a disaster for us. And of course, now we've got Michael Oliver, who I do jokingly put in a Liverpool shirt there, but you know, this is a new thing. This is what people have done before. So that's the last throw of the die for the FA to try and stop us. And at the end of the day, it's up to us to do it, isn't it? Villa are going to play for Villa, whatever happens, and they won't do us any favours. But it's up to us, you know, and you don't expect any favours. We have to do it for ourselves, and which means, as always, it's up to us, and which brings us to us. Let's talk about City. Let's talk about what's going to happen. The starting 11. I would love to know what your thoughts are, guys. Let me know your starting 11. I mean, there's no doubt, talking generally, of course the best team wins over 38 games. There's no doubt, or 42 games in the old days. But let's face it, this has now come down to one game. This has come down to one cup final. And the trouble is, there could be a sending off. There could be a poor refereeing decision. There could be a bad VAR decision. Anything can happen now to disrupt it. So you have to really be at it, this level of football. So it's really an interesting conclusion to a long, hard season. But as I said, a 38 season comes down to one throw of the die, just one game, doesn't it? As fans, we can only hope that games are won and lost based on the quality of the teams, and there aren't any sort of dodgy decisions. And City, let's face it, City and Liverpool have been the outstanding teams this season by a long way. I'm not entirely sure City have been at our best. Certainly, I think we've been better. And I think the same probably can be said for Liverpool, and yet they've got a potential quadruple, God forbid. You know, they're already halfway there. They've got 2 trophies in the cabinet. Already it's a success their season. I'd take an FA Cup and League Cup all day long. But to actually be in the chance for potential quadruple at this stage of the season is pretty amazing from a Liverpool point of view, and all credit to them, all right? It's other seasons they give up cups and stuff like this, but it's worked out this season. But both teams are way above anything else in the Premier League, and whatever happens, I think the winners will deserve it. If it's not us, then for a few days I'm not going to be so magnanimous, but I'll get that in right now that yes, the best team at the end of the day will win the league, and that's what it'll come down to. But as I say, I won't be that magnanimous if it all goes wrong. I can tell you that for sure. Right, City, I'm sure we're going to leave it all out there on the Etihad pitch. Pep's shouting for the fans to get involved. Of course we will. We'll be up for it. We might be a bit nervous, as you'd expect. We'll try our best, certainly before the game. Once it kicks off, we'll get behind them. Obviously, if things are going well, we'll get even more behind them, but it's going to be hard. But it's a bit of both, isn't it? The fans and the players will have to work off each other. And I think the defensive problems are causing a lot of consternation, and they're bound to. Yeah, absolutely, because we've seen the effects of our defence the last 2 or 3 games, and it's totally understandable. A lot of City fans are having a bit of a downer. I mean, Pep did say that he didn't expect Diaz, Stones, or Walker to play again this season, and it has been reported that Stones and Walker are back in training, so we don't know, but. Again, I'm going to expect the worst and hope for the best in this anyway with the team I'm going to give you in a minute. And what we'll have to do at the end of the day is rely on good finishing. We need certain players to step up and have the games of their lives. We're talking the obvious suspects, of course. We're talking KDB, we're talking Bernard, or whoever plays. We're asking them to step up and just pull the team through by the bootstraps, and we're hoping the defence can sort of play a little bit better perhaps than they have the last 2 or 3 games. Even if we start with the fit Laporte and Aki, well, this is the problem. Aki seems to see it's just not fit, but he's been about 3 weeks now. He's been on the suspension, he's been appearing, so I don't understand why he's not getting fitter. That's the only, so it might be something a bit more serious. I'm not too sure. But even with a fit Laporte and Aki starting this, if it's Laporte, obviously, and Fernandinho, yeah, that is a big worry against a team like Villa, because Villa do have players, as West Ham had players, that can exploit that, and that's what we have to be worried about. So my 11, based on who should be fit, I'm going to take a chance that, well, I'm not going to put Walker and Stones in, guys. I don't expect that for 1 minute. Let me know what you think. But I would pray for one of them to stay in it. But I'm going to take a chance that on Aki actually being near enough fully fit to play in this and play alongside Laporte. For obvious reasons, if Aki isn't fit, then Ferner's going to be there, and we'll have to take it on the chin, won't we? Just go with it. But this is my 11, guys. Anyway, Ederson, Cancelo, Aki, Laporte, Zinchenko, Rodri, Gundogan, I'll explain that in a minute, KDB, Bernardo, Foden and Jesus. So that's my 11. Big calls really for Grealish to miss out against his old team, of course, and Mahrez, who may be suffering a little bit after the penalty miss last week. Not his greatest game either, even before that. And Sterling could sneak in, but again, it's Pep will know in training what these players are doing and what they're not doing. Gundogan is the odd one in that team for me, but I don't think Villa are that afraid to having a go. So an extra little bit of cover in that middle with Rodri, I think Pep might go that way, and he's done it before, help control midfield and help us keep the ball as well, which Gundogan can do. He's also shown a surprising shift of gear recently on a couple of occasions, getting back, so that won't do us any harm either. So obviously to defend the defence any more than merry. So that's why I think he might go Rodri Gundogan against someone like Villa, who will be confident. I think Villa won't hold back. I think Villa will have a go for this. If Pep obviously just wants to outscore Villa, accepting they might score 1 or 2 and we can score 3 or 4, then I expect Gundo perhaps to drop out, and someone like Sterling with his pace would get in. Obviously, the other obvious thing is someone like Grealish to start the game on the fact that it's against Villa, which I'm sure he will love and thrive on that. I don't think Ferner will start unless Aki's not fit. I don't think there's a cat in hell's chance of Ferner starting this game. And as I said, I've assumed Stones, Diaz and Walker are unavailable. Of course, if any of them guys can last 90 minutes or even 80 minutes, perhaps they should start this game, but we'll see on that, won't we? But we'll see. Fingers crossed. So there you go. What do you think, guys, of your starting 11? Let me know what you think. And my little assumptions there and little ideas. It'd be great to hear from you for this last preview show. Right, the last match quirky stats of the season. Here we go. City have won 9 of their last 10 Premier League games against Villa. We've drawn 1, including the last 6 in a row. Let's make it 7, eh? Last defeat to Villa came at Villa Park in September 2013, of course, a 3-2 loss. Aston Villa lost 50 in the last 16 away league games against us, losing each of the last 11 in a row since the 2-0 win in April 2007. This run of 11 is Villa's longest ever losing streak against an opponent in their league history, so let's hope that continues. Villa have won just one of their 21 Premier League games, away games against the league leaders, drawn 3, lost 17, beating Leeds back in 2000. January 2000, 2-1. Villa are winless in the last 16 such games, drawn 2, lost 14, losing the last 7 by an aggregate score of 21-1. We've got to win this, haven't we? Draws are no good to us. We've got to win this. City, because can you see Liverpool drawing with Wolves? No. I wish we were playing Wolves and they were playing Villa, in fairness. City have only lost their final league game in one of the last 13 campaigns. 1-10, drawn 2, going down 3-2 at Norwich. At home to Norwich in 2012-2013. Villa beat Chelsea 2-1 on matchday 38 last season. They've not won their final league game in a consecutive campaign since 96-97 and 97-98, with the second victory back then coming against that season's champions, Arsenal, 1-0. City have won all 5 of their final league games of the season under Pep Guardiola. So let's hope that continues. It's the best such 100% record for a manager in the competition's history. So let's go for a round half dozen. But there you go. There's the quirky stats, guys. please tune back in. I won't be doing it Sunday night, whatever happens. There's no way. I'm just going to go out and celebrate or commiserate one or the other. I'll be in no fit state if things don't work out Sunday, guys, or I'll be doing it on Monday. So there will be a full match report and player ratings show on the Monday. As I said, I think I'll be in any fit state either way to do it Sunday evening. I'm off Monday anyway from work, so I don't have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I will do both on Monday. So please tune back in for that. And please don't forget to check out my other 2 features, of course, the History Boys and the Odd Show, which are both available beyond the links on screen, etc. And as I said, in the summer, the Citizen channel, unlike some other people, we very rarely take a break. Although I'll be here, there'll be lots of history stuff, lots of quizzes, lots of somebody's programme of the year, cover of the year, player of the year, of course, all this sort of thing. So please stay tuned and give me your support. I will be eternally grateful, and thank you for your support throughout this season. It's been wonderful. Thank you so much for your wonderful help, and your comments are always welcome as ever. Let me know what you think, guys. As I say, it'll be an interesting day, won't it? An interesting night. Anyway, I'll see you all back again very, very soon. Until I do, please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City! Thanks for watching. Bye for now.